We got games launching this year. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, January 23rd, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Big thing that happened this week was the Xbox Developer Direct happened earlier this week, and they talked about 4 or so games over the course of 50 minutes. The first of which was Forza Horizon 6, which I'm not much of a car racing game player, so that one didn't really catch my interest. Beast of Reincarnation is a kind of like action RPG coming from Game Freak, the Pokemon developers. So that should be interesting. Kiln did catch my eye. It is made by Double Fine, who make Psychonauts, Tim Schafer's company. And this was apparently like a internal, 2-week dev cycle kind of game that that sprouted legs, where you craft pottery and then do some sort of death match with said pottery, which seemed interesting. And like Tim Schafer makes great games, Double Fine makes great games, so if this one has their passion behind it, seems like an interesting game to play. And last but not least, in the game I'm most excited for about this year, and probably the game I am most excited about this year, is Fable. This is made by the same developers who made Forza Horizon 6. So this is they really expressed, it was good hearing from the creatives expressing how much faith they're going to bring to the Fable franchise, how faithful they're going to be to the originals, but also take their own twists, and also how much the games they make, which are racing games, are just beautiful, which I think has always kind of been the case. Racing games have always been the pinnacle of what physics and how good a game can look is typically come from racing games, which is interesting. So the game looks gorgeous, and that's what I want to talk the most about. They talked for 10 minutes. They talked about the different ways you're gonna be able to play. It seems like it's gonna be more of a mix and match between strength, melee based stuff, skill, ranged stuff, and will, which is all the magic. So it looks like you really transferring between each of those. I don't know if you'll be able to super focus in one. You probably will be, but it seems like there's a lot of you can change what you need to do to the certain situations, which felt somewhat witchery, considering all the different enemies they talked about, the different creature types. And it's okay, different creatures would be more susceptible to different stuff, which kind of reminded me of The Witcher. Also, the third-person gameplay kind of gave me that vibe as well. For all the terrible people out there who are really focused on the protagonist character being ugly, there will be character customization, which I hope wasn't them bowing down to the chuds and just allowing people to create their own characters, which for a Fable game would be, you'd be remiss if you made someone play as a specific character. Fable is all about making your hero and living in Albion. So glad that they showed off some of the character customization there. The game world's going to react to your choices. They also talked about all the different things you're going to be able to do to make it a living, breathing world, which I think Fable is known for, having this kind of living world that reacts to what you do. You're going to be able to buy everything, you're going to be able to marry everyone, there's going to be crafting, and you're going to be able to build your financial empire. They talked about 1,000 NPCs that all have names and wants and likes, and a daily cycle, which felt very Red Dead Redemption 2-y, where you could just follow a character through their day. It'll have a day-night cycle. So all in all, to say, I'm really excited for Fable. It seems like it's definitely gonna take some of the great things about Fable 1 and make it, bring it into the modern era and have a world that reacts to your choices and all that kind of stuff. So very much looking forward to Fable. That was the big exciting thing coming out of the Xbox Direct. So excited for that, and you should check out Fable if you haven't already. Moving right along, there's been a lot of talk about Marathon recently, and that's because it now has a release date. Bungie has officially announced the release date for Marathon is March 5th, so we'll be able to play Bungie's take on a first-person extraction shooter in just a few months. They announced a price point, $40, which I'm somewhat concerned about. Like, that makes me think that they're not confident in the price point. Like, this isn't a AAA product because it's not priced at $70. This could be an Overwatch thing where, like, Overwatch at launch was $40 on PC. um, this might also be like a Helldivers 2 situation where it's going to be $40, and then you start buying battle passes, and that's how they're going to make up their money between the price point of like a AAA game and this price point. But yeah, $40, somewhat of a concern, but we can all play an extraction shooter for $40. So let's see, how it stacks up compared to like Arc Raiders, which I think has kind of set the bar on how good an extraction shooter can be. As part of like a Q&A or people asking questions online, they did announce that like there's going to be a free playtest before launch, so people are going to be able to get their hands on it. And then as part of being part of the greater Sony family, Bungie gets a exclusive DualSense controller that's all marathoned out. So I'll have a link down below for you to check that out. But yeah, they get their own special, cool, cyberpunky or industrial punky art style on a DualSense controller. So all that's pretty cool. A few weeks ago, I talked about Life is Strange, the next Life is Strange game getting leaked a little bit. And this week we got the official announcement and a gameplay trailer and a release date. It's coming March 26th, which I am very excited for. Life is Strange is kind of what got me into streaming. So I owe a lot to playing that first game 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Yeah, I love it. And I love all the Choices Matter games. So they also showed that they're bringing back Chloe, which is very exciting. It also reminds me that I haven't played Life is Strange in 11 years, so I got to play through the last several of them to see where everything is and catch up on all those characters. So that might be what I'm doing for the next few weeks before Life is Strange Reunion launches on March. Netflix has secured the exclusive streaming rights to the Legend of Zelda movie. So after the Legend of Zelda movie has come out in theaters, and becomes available to purchase physically, it will be streaming exclusively on Netflix for the first couple years or so, based on kind of what I was reading about it. So if you want to be able to watch Zelda not in theaters, it's going to be on Netflix. So get ready for that. But I'm very excited for the Zelda movie, which I think is set to come out next year. So very excited for that. In more Nintendo news, the CEO had to address concerns that all of the RAM price increases that are going on with all the PC parts out there have caused a lot of people to speculate on whether or not the Switch 2 will increase its price. Having recently launched the most successful hardware console ever, people are going to start to speculate, like if you change that price point, which some people were already kind of turned off by, whether or not that's going to affect sales further down the line. And then Nintendo CEO has come out with a non-answer and saying we're monitoring the issue, and we'll get back to you, kind of how they talked about it. But RAM prices are affecting everybody, even major first-party organizations. So it'd be interesting to see if they raise their price point. And even more Nintendo news, based on an IKEA catalog getting released that has Animal Crossing characters, people are starting to speculate on whether or not there will be a IKEA and Animal Crossing crossover on the horizon, the new horizon. Yes, whether or not this is a bringing IKEA furniture into Animal Crossing or bringing Animal Crossing furniture out into the real world of IKEA, I don't know which direction is the collaboration's going to be in, but that's what people are speculating on. Surely based on just having Animal Crossing characters on a catalog. So there could be something to this, but also, as I always say, the games industry is built on rumors and speculation, and that's what this one is. So take that with a grain of salt. Blumhouse has a first-person horror shooter game coming out in the next few weeks called Crystal Theater of Idols. Crystal not spelt like a diamond. And it's got a lot of like Bioshocky vibes. It's a first person. It's very horror, but it's got like that steampunk vibe to it. This was last seen at Summer Game Fest last year. But yeah, it's launching in a couple weeks. I think it's March, or sorry, it's February 10th. And yeah, it's got those kind of Bioshocky vibes. So I'm definitely there for it. I find I might have found the game that I will be playing in the next couple weeks. So yeah, it's got a really cool art style. We haven't seen a trailer for it yet, but I'm excited to see. And, Blumhouse being a very popular, they made several popular games and obviously movies. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do with like a horror shooter game. And again, the Bioshock vibes are immaculate. Speaking of games, No Rest for the Wicked is a Diablo Souls-like game that's been out in early access since April of 2024. But this week, they announced and released a co-op expansion, or a co-op DLC, I guess, so that you can be able to play this like Diablo but Souls-like game with your friends, causing a lot of people to jump around it. Is this the next game we want to be playing? So if you're looking for a Diablo-like game with hard Souls-like combat that you can play with your friends, look at No Rest for the Wicked. Dune Awakening has been out for 7 months now, and after 3 DLCs, some of the servers are starting to dwindle, and I assume that's what led to them, the Funcom announcing that you can now transfer your characters in Dune Awakening, probably from the least populated to most populated servers, so that they can start consolidating some of those servers down and getting all the people more consolidated. As someone whose server died, I will definitely be interested in moving my character to another server if I decide to pick up the game again. Last but not least, not surprising too many people, but Arc Raider fans will recognize the name Stella Montis as one of the 4 maps that you can play on Arc Raiders, but is also the name of just an Italian hotel. And Arc Raider fans have gone to review whatever the opposite of a review bomb is, maybe a review boom. They are review booning the Stella Montis Hotel. So in a feel-good story, Arc Raider fans are giving 5-star ratings to this hotel in Italy that they probably haven't visited, just based purely on the name Stella Montis, the name of one of the maps in Arc Raiders. So good to see some positivity coming out of the gaming community all around. Just naming your hotel that probably existed before the game, having the same name as one of the popular maps in a video game. So interesting and cool stuff there. That's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!